Recovery and Poetry presents the Gospel Throwdown. What's going on, TGT family? Standing for the Gospel Throwdown, okay? We're so excited to share this first episode with you guys. In this episode, we are going to be talking about how God helps us understand what we're going through. Y'all are going to see a very vulnerable moment that I had on here, and how the music helps us get through everyday life. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Comment down below what gospel songs get y'all through, okay? Turn on that bell notification so that you are notified whenever we post. All right, without further ado, let's get into the pod. The first song we listen to is The Prayer by DMX.
Well, DMX, I mean, his voice alone is just, I mean, magnanimous, you know? And The Prayer, it's so real.
Yeah.
And I love it. And that's what I love about it, is that, you know, you can tell that he is speaking from himself and his experience and walking, you know, with God. So you could just feel the sincerity, and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I love it. It doesn't feel like it's something that I can't relate to. It brings me right in, as if, you know, he's praying with me and for me. From the suburb to the hood. We're just children acting grown.
Yep, that's what he said. That's what he said.
I mean, he was telling the truth.
What stuck out to me so much was when he said, there's so much we're entitled to, yet we receive so little. That reception, like, you have to be open to receive. There's so much that God has in store for us, but we also have to be open to receive what he has for us.
Right, and still believe that we are worthy of it in spite of the devil and his lies, because he definitely touched on that too, recognizing how he'll talk us right out of it. Period. Because, you know, with that guilt and shame, you know what I mean? Like, we're not worthy because we haven't gotten it all together, as if we could possibly do that without God. Because it's the grace of God that has, you know, saved me, saved us. It's not in us and our own strength. There's no way possible. Just him, and him touching on that, recognizing the lies.
The realness of it. That's what draws me in. And that's what helps me to take off the layers.
Right.
And be able to get into that genuine space.
Right. And just come to God and have a conversation. Your prayer it's like having a conversation, and not a bunch of, you know, adjectives and verbs that you don't even speak on a normal basis, as if, you know.
Right, exactly.
As if that's how you got to come and talk to God in some sort of fakeness. No, he came as real from the suburb to the hood. We are all, and we fall short, and help us. I love that. I love that. And I love the fact that he was bold enough feel comfortable enough to step right. That's like, come boldly to the throne of grace. Like, there it is. And that's great, because I think a lot of us, I don't know if we would feel that comfortable, you know? Some people feel like you got to be so perfect, or you can't be who you are.
And God knows who you are, and he doesn't want you to pretend to be somebody that you're not. He can't bless who you pretend to be. He wants you authentically. And who you are authentically is enough. You know what I mean? Even if, God, I'm mad today. He wants you to say what's real and what's true to you. If you feel disappointed, God, I feel disappointed in this area. God, I feel like you forgot about me here. God, I don't understand what's happening. He wants that raw truth of who you are.
Yeah, I think that's important, because, I don't know, it's like if you can't bring your truth of who you are, how do you really know who he is? I mean, what is your true vision of who he is?
Because your view of him is incorrect then. If you think that he is expecting you to be somebody that you're not, or that he prefers you to be who you're not.
As if he made a mistake in making you. Because I don't think you made you. I don't think so. I know I didn't make me, because No, I didn't make me, because if I would have it my way, I would made me perfect with no flaws, or the flaws that I see are flaws. You know what I'm saying? Perfect in man's eye, you know? No. I'm not even in control of that. So that's like coming to him in something he didn't make. That's not relationship. But I don't think you know that until you get there. And I take that from personal experience too, because just from thinking of, I got to come to him in, you know, a certain, I mean, yes, you have to have respect, but as far as relationship, when I wanted God to come save me, please, I was not really thinking about like, well, am I sitting correctly? Am I saying it right? No, because in the midst, when you are being hunted down, it's just like, God, please come save me. I don't want to drink no more. I don't want to do the things that I'm doing anymore. I don't, it's just.
Let me tell you right now, I cannot have a relationship with someone who I feel that I constantly have to be someone that I'm not to be in relationship with them. The relationship is not going to work. Now, God is going to mold me and change me over time, yet and still I'm not faking who I am throughout that whole entire process, even when I don't like what he's changing. Because there are going to be times when I'm not going to like what he's changing, but yet and still I'm not faking it. The next song we listen to is You Still Love Me by Corinne Hawthorne. But I feel like that's so like God, to help you find the word you're trying to say. He's like, I understand how you feel, and I'm going to give you the words that you need right here in this song, because I already understand you. And even when you don't understand how you feel and you can't articulate how you feel because you don't have the words, because I know I've been there, he helps you find those words, and he's helped me through the music. I know exactly how you're feeling. Let me help you understand exactly how you're feeling. The next song we listen to is He Understands by Chandler Moore.
Sometimes the change for the better, it ain't all peaches and ice cream. Sometimes it hurts.
Yeah.
And you have to feel that, though, and you have to go through that.
Yeah.
And if you're not real in your recovery, how are you really going to get better from whatever it is you're trying to get better from? If you don't be real with the fact that you have a brand new hip replacement, you cannot just decide you want to start off doing cartwheels and splits all of a sudden, you gotta be real and authentic and like, okay. And sometimes you get mad that you can't get up and just go like you want to.
Yeah.
That's frustrating in anything. Or even grieving. You lose a loved one, right? And you figure maybe some time has gone by. And so one day it just hits you and you're sad again as if it was just a few minutes ago. And you're like, really? I thought I had gotten past this. And you get angry all over again. I think the only way to get through that is to be honest with yourself and be in the moment and really, this is how I feel. And so what are we going to do about it now?
It's so funny. It's like, if you can't be honest with yourself, at least be honest with God. When I talk to people, it's like he wants to just punish, and that's not the case. He understands your why, and when you come to him with that why, that helps setting you free in that moment, especially in grief, especially in that moment of recovery.
That's where I think poetry and the music comes in, because there are songs that maybe you can't even find the words as to what you're feeling, or maybe you don't feel comfortable coming to God with how you really feel. But you hear a certain song and you're in it and you're worshiping and, you're just listening to it. And then you find out it's actually speaking for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually saying the things that you want to say, need to say, and it is saying it for you, and you're getting to hear it and you're getting to feel it. And sometimes I feel like that music is speaking for me,
absolutely,
to God, as God is speaking back to me,
absolutely,
and as I'm getting that healing that I need, or that courage to agree with it and say, yes, Lord, that's what I mean right there. Like, I couldn't find a word, but Tasha Cobbs said it for me, or when it's like you need to talk back to the enemy, or you need some courage, or you need to be uplifted. I hear Tasha Cobbs talking about, I'm getting ready to see.
Well, let's get into it then.
Let's do it. Let's
get into it.
Let's do it.
Y'all about to listen to Tasha Cobbs, I'm Getting Ready. You know what, y'all? Sometimes we don't have the words to describe our joy either. We might say, like, we don't have the words to describe our grief and the words to describe the things that are burdening us or weighing us down. The truth of the matter, too, is that sometimes we don't have the words to describe our joy or the hope that we feel inside of us, or we're scared to describe it. And I think going back into our conversation about how God will give us the words to describe how we're feeling for ourselves too, so we can have some understanding, even with that song, I'm Getting Ready by Tasha Cobbs Leonard, because she always gonna come through.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, that's one thing. And those lyrics to that song were a testament to how God will give us the words even for our joy and what we have expectation for. Right. And good expectation for, you know.
Even in that song too, it's kind of like, you know, like she's speaking about a time that he's already come through. Like when Nikki comes in with her part, and, you know, it's almost like he's fixed it for you before. He's done it before. Mm-hmm. So the song is speaking to that and what he is getting ready to do, you know. So you've already leveled up because y'all done shot the devil up.
Period.
And then I'm getting ready to see he's doing a new thing. So it's like, you know, his track record. He already came through for me before.
Yeah.
And I believe he can do it again. He's getting ready to do it. And in that moment, like, you know, before you hear the song, you might not actually be feeling that way. You might be thinking that he done forgot you. Things do not look right. You said, God, this was supposed to go this way. And I just, like, you know, I just did all the stuff I thought you wanted me to do. And here we are. It does not look at all as though you are even rocking with me. It don't look like we shot no devils up. In that moment, you might be feeling that. And then you hear her and it's just uplifting. And it makes you, you know, once you hear the words and you're like, well, wow, wait a minute, hold up. Actually, yeah, we did get through that, you know. And it's like, well, okay, well, I am getting ready to see. And she tell you, say it.
Because you know what it does?
What it do?
Because it gets you in that posture. It gets you in that posture, okay? Gratitude and reflection on what he's done.
Yeah.
And hope and expectation for what he's going to do.
That's right.
And when I say expectation, I don't mean in the sense of like entitled to whatever.
That's not it, but we expected him to show up and shoot the devil up again because he did it before. So that's a good expectation because I know that's like faith almost, I would say, because I'm expecting you to win, God. I am expecting you to show up and get these devils up off of me because I didn't seen you do it before. So I'm expecting that you will do it again. I'm not expecting you to fail. No, I'm not. Absolutely not. No, because I have a track record and I know the last time they was talking all this stuff about me and coming against me, my God showed up and put them all to shame. So I'm expecting God to do that again. That's.
Can we get a hallelujah on that? Mm-hmm. Can we get
hallelujah.
An amen? Amen. Can we get a yay man?
Yay man. Hallelujah. That part. And then she make you all, I feel strong. I'm like, yeah.
I know that's right. It's giving courage.
Shoot.
It's giving boldness.
Hey. It's giving... And she says, prophesy over your life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, didn't David say you got to encourage yourself? And she's helping you do that. That's what I love about music. Yep. Love it.
The next song we listen to is Victory by Yolanda Adams. Let's name a time from our track record when God has won. I mean, he's continuously winning now. But
remember, I had to record the Gospel Throwdown one time, and I did it for the radio station, and my internet went off, and so I couldn't do it where I was. I couldn't do it, you know. Nothing was working right. Had no internet. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, you know. And then the library is across the street. Went on over there, used their internet, and did my show, and the show came out wonderful. Gospel Throwdown that day, there was not a hiccup. I sounded better in there than I did at my regular recordings. It was phenomenal. God showed up.
The next song we listen to is "Won't He Do It" by Corinne Hawthorne. I'm not getting discouraged.
Hey, no, why would we be doing that?
Don't do that. I'm just saying that. I'm fighting the shutdown.
Okay.
I have a shutdown. Oh. I'm being very I almost want to cry because I'm listening and I'm speaking at the same time, but I'm having so much grace for myself. Like, I'm not critiquing so much. I'm being thoughtful with what I say and intentional. I'm not being overbearing either. I'm giving myself grace and I'm pushing through what wants to be a shutdown. I want to shut down. I want to say, I'm done with this. And I would in the past. And it would, because I'm taking responsibility for my influence as well. Because I know that if I were to just catch an attitude right now, because I'm overwhelmed. It's not a real attitude. I'm not mad at anybody. It's just a little overwhelmed of the light, of the recording. I want it to be an easy process editing. So my mind is like 40 years ahead of what it needs to be on versus being in the moment. It's like there's a plethora of things going on. It's the overwhelm of, am I saying the right things? Are my words going to fall short when they come upon whoever listens? You know what I mean? So there's so many things going on in my head, and everything, my brain is telling me danger, danger, danger. Shut it down, shut it down. Unsafe territory. Shut it down. And that's where I want to be at, and I have one, and I am trying to be a good steward of myself, of my time, of the influence that I even have with you. If I were to just shut it all down, end the night on bad terms, go to sleep angry, and then feel guilty. So I'm really having spiritual warfare against the enemy, but I'm also working through me and what my emotions are, and being aware. And more than being aware, I'm like applying my tools right now. Even though it's taking time. In the past, I would have been like, look at me wasting all this time talking about my emotions. I don't have a second to take a deep breath. And now I'm taking one because there's power in it, and I'm going to get through this. And I just have to take the time to take the time. Because it's okay that I need to take the time. And it's okay if my thing says out of storage. I can delete some things to make more storage. I don't need to shut myself off. I don't need to give myself an anxiety attack. The devil already wants to do that. I'm not going to help him in his process. I'm going to be an advocate for me, and we're going to fight for us as we go through this process. Because I'm standing with myself, and I give myself grace.
The next song we listen to is Born Again by Corey Asbury.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that right there. Can we that?
Whoo, y'all just witnessed a
That
real
is how you get through
moment.
a moment.
Okay, y'all just witnessed some real Y'all just witnessed some real stuff. Okay.
Yes, in all of its realness. And people say how. That's how. That's how. Right there. That's how. In the moment. Not prepared for, oh, this is what I'm gonna, if this. No, that was real deal right in the moment.
We just talked about being real, like being yourself when you come to him. That's what just happened here. I didn't write that. We didn't plan this.
No, and I mean, I can attest to the fact that I know her a little bit, and we definitely would have cut this sucker. It would not have went the way it just went. I know that. I am so, thank you.
Thank you for letting me get it off my chest, not cutting me off, not rushing it, not being like, we're on a time frame. Them kids is downstairs. We need to hurry up. Thank you for not rushing into the next song. Thank you for letting me say all of those things as I needed to say them, and listening in the moment, giving me eye contact, because I was in them eyeballs. I was straight up in them because I was fighting. Okay? Yes. I was fighting. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I had to put my glasses on to get that out. He said, you can't see. You're about to have a headache. Put your glasses on. Okay? Get it out. And it's okay.
And that is in the moment.
Yeah.
In the moment battle.
The next song we listen to is Worth Fighting For Live by Brian Courtney Wilson.
I am so grateful that I got to be a witness to that.
You know what? In that moment, God really just helped me find those words. And that's what we were just talking about, y'all. And that's what I'm getting from what today's pod is really about. It's him helping us understand what we're going through. And so right now I got to put on All I Need Is You by Lecrae, because that's one of the ones that just it do what it need to do. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what we about to put on right now. All right.
The next song we listen to is All I Need Is You by Lecrae.
Because all I need is what?
Hey.
Because all I need is what?
All I need is you, Lord. That's all I need. By my side.
Wow.
Thick and thin.
Highs and lows. Don't let go.
Hey, what? When I'm about to lose it, when I'm in that moment and I'm about to lose it.
About to go get that styrofoam and pull it up.
Even when I'm not even, what did he say? He said something like, even when I'm not even coming, you're offering it. Like what? What? And also what I love about gospel hip hop is that like I could be myself. So I feel like it is me talking in all of my hood, all of my me when it's really me.
Every Ebonic.
All of it. Because that's what I relate to. You know what I mean? And he's saying it in a way that's speaking my language. And I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And you know, gospel hip hop, it's come a long way. It has come a long way. I've heard over the years that, you know, a lot of people think gospel hip hop is whack. It's not whack. And I'm glad that there is gospel hip hop because it is another form of representation of being myself in all of my flavor and kicking it with God on, you know what I'm saying, on my level. And it's a form of, you know, getting that poetry out.
And I think, you know, I'm 21. A lot of people my age might think that it's corny. I mean, I grew up thinking that it was corny, thinking that that was not real hip hop. Like it wasn't the Tupac. I didn't even realize that DMX had the prayers that he did until I was older. I wasn't checking for gospel hip hop, but I was checking for healing through the hip hop that I was listening to. I was checking for God without realizing. So as I've gotten older, it's become less and less corny because he's helped me see that it's him who I am looking for. And full circle, because even though I thought that it was corny as a child, I rap about the Lord. Things can be corny until they save your life. Okay, it can all be fun and games, hee hee ha ha, until you're sitting on the floor crying and the only thing that you have is that gospel hip hop to speak to the Lord and to hear his voice back because he speaks through it.
Exactly.
The next song we listen to is Shining Down by Swoop.
There are going to be some songs that are not, you know, per se the genre of gospel. However, they mean something deeply to us as a part of our recovery or when we're going through, you know, music plays a big part in everything, you know, and it is a universal language.
Absolutely.
And just like there's music that can entice you to do things you ain't got no business doing. I can't necessarily always listen to those, even though at times I like them. But for these purposes, we're talking about the music that helps me get through, whether it be an uplifting moment or, you know, it be something that I really need to get all of my emotions out. Being in recovery and being sober and listening to music, I found for myself, I can't really find a song. Like when I just want to listen to my music, you know, sometimes songs come in that suggest that I pick up a drink, you know, and that's really not what I want to do. And if I'm minding my business, after so many of those suggestions, it's like not helping. I can't always listen to those. And so when I'm trying to find something, you know, what can I listen to that represents me for real?
Yeah, a lot of times you might not feel it in that moment, but then later on, it catches up to you. It might be something that you're trying to go away from whatever it is.
You know that one you ain't supposed to be calling no more?
Come on now. But you listening to back to back, suggesting you to do what? Call them. Okay? Call them up. And then later on, you're going to be crying.
Mm-hmm. Or you're going to be over there and then it's going to be like, oh. That used to make me angry because I used to be like, really? I just want to listen to my music, you know, and so why do I have to be that way? Why does it have to get me that way? Why can't I just hear a song and it not take me over yonder somewhere? But that's what music does, and that's also the beauty of music. Yeah. Sometimes you need some music that is just going to speak to you. There's one in particular, and it is called Recovery.
James Arthur.
The last song of the podcast is Recovery by James Arthur.
James Arthur. It is beautiful, and it gets me through. It is amazing. And he speaks exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And if I could sing it, but I do when I'm by myself. Period. I'm not going to subject y'all to that.
I don't like how you was talking about my friend.
I don't know what just happened.
Okay,
we was fine.
You ain't subjecting them to nothing. You have a beautiful voice. Okay, they ain't being subject to nothing horrible. They being subject to something wonderful. So, whoever was trying to talk about my friend, get to step it.
That's love right there. That's
my friend has a beautiful voice. Ain't no subject to nothing bad. You're lucky to get subject to that.
Woo, but go ahead with it then.
Yeah.
First episode was a success, y'all. Thank you for listening. We talked about vulnerability, music, and God. It don't get no better than that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment what gospel songs get you through. Share this episode with someone that you think might enjoy it. All right, TGT fam, we out.